What the fuck?
I missed it.
No, I think you started recording at just the right time. What the fuck is that?
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sins and Consequences, a Blades in the Dark actual play podcast presented by your very own Dragon's Greed Game. Adam, what's so funny?
Everything. You know what? Everything is funny when you think about it in the right
Context.
Right context. That's the word I was looking for. I was going to say sequence, but that's not the right word.
Definitely not you calling yourself a horse before kicking off.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Listeners, I don't know if you guys know this about Aaron, but apparently before we start recording, he goes, "I'm a horse."
Can we please stop horsing around?
Ooh.
No. I've already established in canon that I'm a horse, so I only horse around.
Oh man, this is gonna be a long one.
It's gonna be a long one. All right.
I love it.
Very quickly before we begin, let's get into some of the business. The business. The music you're listening to right now, the majority of the music that it plays in the background of this podcast is composed and written by Sydney Fable. You can check out their YouTube, which is linked down below. They also have a glam rock band known as the Blam Blams, which is linked below as well in the description. Check them out, support them, say nice things. They're pretty rad. Also, hopefully, we should be posting art made for this this show by Nightland, who is one of the cast members over at What the Dice podcast, which is a pretty cool Pathfinder 2nd edition podcast. I think they're getting into some, they're doing their second season in like a version of Shadowrun.
Oh yeah, that should be dropping, and by the time this one comes out, it'll probably be either here or here very, very soon.
Ooh, I'm excited. I started listening to it and it's very good. But Nightland is a cast member on that, and she's also a phenomenal artist, great to work with. Her link is going to be in the description below as well. Check out her stuff. Commission her if you need art done, because she's wonderful to work with. Anything else business-wise? No, I don't have any other business, so it's all pleasure from here on out, guys. Ethan, how you doing? Tell us about your characters, and then tell us about your week.
Sure thing. So, my name is Ethan. I'm playing Vay Helker and Drobit, one of the newer folks to the squad. Vay is a spider who spent a lot of last session going through a bit of a dreamscape and ending up with what seemed to be a ticking clock of a timer saying that he has about 2 years to live. So we'll see how that goes and what power he can pull from that information. I've been kind of thinking about it over the week. I think it's really cool to kind of have that. So we'll go in and see that. And on the other side, playing Drobit, who is a is an automaton machination, a robot basically.
Robot.
That is
My brother, the robot. Yeah.
It's a bit of a saboteur, rebellious type. And as far as my week goes, I woke up about 4 days ago, and the ceiling was leaking. Yeah. It's not that I woke up. It's that the ceiling was
Like you've been awake for 4 days. Holy shit! I woke up 4 days ago. Now I'm back to sleep. I'm dying.
It's one of those really special moments where, like, a year and a half ago, I had a similar thing happen, and it was awful. It's one of those things where it's like, oh no, like, we're dealing with the house and doing things, and like having a leak is just like absolutely the worst. But I don't own a house anymore. I rent. I'm back in that group. And nice. I'll tell you, having a leaking ceiling, it don't mean dirt to me now anymore. It's someone else's problem. I just throw some towels down, I fill out an online portal, and that's someone else to deal with. So like finally getting to appreciate, one of the few perks of renting over top of owning a house. So I'm really just kind of riding that high. It leaked again today, like 4 days. Like it happened twice now. Even like someone came, they tried to fix it, and then it started leaking again. And so we think it's the upstairs neighbor's dishwasher or something like that, because like just it leaks for like an hour and then stops. And so it just kind of like either they don't shower very often or it's the dishwasher going off like, twice a week. So that's been my little adventure. And then final thing is I got a brand new cider, found this one where it's down east and it's called Overboard, and it's just a regular cider, but it's twice as alcoholic. So I thought that is interesting. It's like, that's an 8% cider.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take that. So
how is it?
It just tastes like regular cider, and it's actually kind of nice. It's a little less sweet. Like I know a lot of people when they get a cider, it's too sweet for them. So it's kind of nice that way. It kind of brings it back to what you expect from like a normal beer. So
I kind of like that balance because most ciders I hate specifically because they're too sweet.
Exactly.
I like the
so
sweet
it's more
stuff.
approachable, I think.
Yeah,
I don't mind
my
a sweet cider.
brother-in-law's into the dry ciders, and I'm like, yuck. I don't know. I guess I drink the wrong kind of wine too. If you ask somebody that like, is one of those wine connoisseurs, they're like, you're not supposed to like the sweet stuff, and I'm like, I do.
Wine connoisseurs.
I prefer my wines to be technically wine drink.
It's like cheese food. Do you guys have cheese food up there in Canada?
Yeah, we have craft singles. We don't like them, but we have them.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it American?
Yeah, we call it American cheese. Which
We've been over
makes
this. Technically, they're America.
Yeah,
They're North America.
I mean, craft is like a staple in most people's houses. Craft dinner sells more units in Canada than it does in the United States, despite the
I don't
fact
think that exists here.
You don't think you have craft dinner?
It does, just not under the name. It's Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Oh, okay. Like I've heard people talk about craft dinner, but like basically only Terrence and Phillip on South Park.
Yeah. No. So the thing about craft dinner is you and your wife eat some craft dinner, you get in a canoe, you have some love. That's what goes.
It's the Canadian way.
Why even Ethan's on this? What the fuck?
All right. It sounds
you don't make love in a canoe, you just have it. That's the important difference.
God fucking damn it.
It's already there. You just enjoy it. It's already been made for you by Kraft.
I would be upset if somebody put craft dinner in front of me. I'd be like, "What is this? Why are you feeding me this? I can't."
It's delicious.
No, it's not. I refuse.
Is it still that neon orange powder that you pour into it up there?
Yeah. You just put in like 2 or 3 more cheeses.
Put that shit in your fucking. You want cheese and coffee?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, before I introduce the next person, a quick story about craft dinner. At McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, a student acquired scurvy while performing a study on craft dinner to see what would happen if you only ate craft dinner. And it turns out there's no vitamin C in it. And so now, since that study's been released and that guy got out of the hospital, he did survive. There is now, like in every craft dinner box in Canada, at least, is infused with vitamin C, so that you can eat it and not get scurvy.
Oh my God.
I love how incredibly prepared you were with that information. That was off the cuff.
So my sister went to McMaster University with that guy.
Oh, sister got scurvy with that dude. Oh my God. Okay.
No, she didn't have scurvy. But who am I going to introduce next? I'm going to introduce Adam. Adam, now that you're doing stuff with your hands, talk about it. What are you doing with your hands?
I'm pouring a beer into a glass. This is, as you can see in the video here, this is a black can with no label because my ADHD made me pull the label off of the can. So, let's see. I am on beer number 2 because we just started recording and I'm a lunatic. First beer of the night was brewed and canned by Martin House Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Chuck, you heard that right. Another one from Martin House. Get down there. Check it out. It's great. This one's called Patient Zero. Strawberry and banana sour ale aged on oak spirals. This is a 12% alcohol by volume. It is absolutely delicious. No lactose or anything like that, so it doesn't have that kind of creamy texture to it. It's just like a regular sour ale. Absolutely delicious. And I'm feeling great. Second beer I just cracked open, I got Full Slice from Phase 3 Brewing Company, located here in, I don't know, Lake Zurich, Illinois? No, Elmhurst, Illinois. There you go, Elmhurst, Illinois. right next to where I work. This place is great. So this is Full Slice, is a key lime pie inspired sour ale. I don't know if you've noticed the trend here. This one is 6.4% alcohol by volume. Not as strong, but still pretty damn tasty, I hope. I haven't tasted it yet. Here we go.
I have a question.
Not as good as the other one, but still pretty good.
Was it easier to read the label or harder to read the label now that you removed it?
Probably easier because it's like a flat thing that I stuck to the side of my desk because I'm crazy. So let's see. What have I been up to, man? This past week, I've been at work a bunch, but not as much as I should be. I took half of a day off. Then the power went out the following day, so I took another day off. Oof. Nice. But I got something really cool, and I'm gonna put this out there right now, right here. If you're listening to this, you may or may not have listened to Shadowrun Pay Data, also available through fantastic Dragon's Greed Gaming. If you haven't, check it out, listen to it. If you do, and you make fan art of anything from Shadowrun Pay Data, and you send it in to Dragon's Greed Gaming, I'm gonna find out what email address, it'll be in the description.
It's dragonsgreedgaming@gmail.com.
Boom! That one, send it in. I'm going to have a little contest over the course of, I don't know, let's say until October, right? Beginning of October. And the best art from that will get free Shadowrun books. At least 2. You just have to pay for shipping. So send it in. I got a giant pallet. I got 350 pounds of free Shadowrun books from the good people at Catalyst Game Labs to give away. So some of that stuff's going to be given away at Gen Con. Some of it's going to be given away through contests like this one. And some of it, I gave one to the driver who dropped it off because he was like, oh, it says here you got like role-playing game books? And I'm like, yeah, you know about Shadowrun? And he's all like, I've heard about it, but I heard it's really complicated. I'm like, not this version, have one. And yeah. So I've got that stuff.
A pallet in your house?
I got a fucking pallet in my garage right now. It's my wife. I told her, I'm like, yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of boxes of books coming. She's like, how many boxes of books, Adam? And I was like, 15. And she's like, what? How much did you spend, Adam? And I'm like, nothing. And she's like, what the hell did you do, Adam? I'm like, I got them for free. And then she's like, what did you do?
You see, it's a multi-level marketing.
That's what I was. So,
the Shadowrun.
Yeah. So basically, when this arrangement was made, I was like, hey, like I said, this Rem Alternus is the what does she do? She's the marketing and community director or manager, something like that. I forgot exactly what the title is. She's in charge of talking to people about Shadowrun, essentially. I was talking to her, and she's like, yeah, we'll send you the stuff. And I was like, fuck yeah. I'm like, as soon as this gets here, I'm not going to tell my wife about it, and I'm going to tell her that I spent the entire savings account on these books, and that we're going to be rich. And she laughed. And then I immediately blew it and told my wife the whole scheme. I told her about the prank I was going to play on her, and she's like, that would have been hilarious. I'm like, I know.
That's pretty risky. It's pretty risky.
Yeah, dude, did I ever tell you? Okay, so I know I'm already going over, but I'm going to keep going over. Did I ever mention to any of you guys my plan on how I was going to propose to my wife 10 years ago? By the way, my 10-year anniversary of being married to my wife is in 2 months. We're going to go to Cancun. Fuck yeah. So anyhow.
Very cool.
I had this plan where I was going to talk to the guy at 7-Eleven. I was going to go in there and I was going to set up with a couple of people to come in with ski masks and guns with fake bullets, and then they were going to go to rob the place, and I was going to jump in front and I was going to get shot in air quotes, and they'd be like, oh, I'm okay, something stop the bullet, and then pull out the box with the ring in it and propose. And I told her about it. She's like, I'm really glad you didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it could have been great.
Honestly, hear you tell that story gave me anxiety. It made me not want to marry you. Like,
you know what? You're probably right. You know, it's probably better that I keep these ideas in my head, and then anyhow. So that's what I've been up to basically for the past week. I am going to be playing today. I don't know. I've got a couple of characters. Probably some Ludes. Maybe not. He's in bad shape right now. He might be taking a break. maybe some Jacob Bridgewater, maybe a little bit of Marv. We'll find out. I don't know what the hell is going on. It was a crazy, crazy time last session, and we left in a situation where I have no idea what's next. I've been on the edge of my proverbial seat for this past week.
That's fair.
And I can't wait.
I am also very excited for this week's session. But before we get too excited, we got to talk to CJ.
Me.
I get excited about that. Sorry, I'm not going to say that you're not excited.
Ooh, awkward. Awkward.
Yeah,
No.
I know.
No, it's okay. CJ, tell us about Myri. Tell us about Shiova. Tell us about CJ.
We got Myri. Myri is our local leech.
Yes, you got it.
Yes. What?
Yep.
I knew I got her class at some point. Like, tinkerer. No, that's just what she does. That's not what it's called.
No.
And there you go. That's what she does. She tinkers. She makes things that sometimes blow up in her face. Yeah. Then we got Shiova, the new girl in town. Ghosty girl out already got a body to her name.
Ooh.
Her and the Weeping Lady just went out and like murdered people last week. These things happen.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
This week my cat's been trying to murder me. He's been super spicy. He's clawing me up,
Ooh.
just going crazy.
Mhm.
He loves playing rough. Like, so my roommate, my friend, like she plays with him. He's all nice and gentle, but he knows that I play rough with him, so he's like, tries to like bunny kick me and grab my arm.
Oh no! Oh no!
Always
I've
a good
still got
reminder.
scars from like months ago. You probably can't see them, but like
No.
months ago,
no.
he like drew blood and they're just still
Eh,
Oh
there.
no!
Every cat owner that I've known has always told me that's the way they show affection. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true, but
And like when I was getting him from the shelter, like there had been two families who came in and they had like young kids, and now I'm just like, I am so glad I took him instead of them.
Yeah.
It would not have been good if he was scratching up their kids.
So this cat's doing that thing where like it grabs on with the front and then like
Yeah.
kangaroo kicks.
Yes.
Oh god, that's
Well,
oof.
so here's the thing: if they're not like drawing blood and continuing once you express that you're in pain, that is a sign of affection. But that is also how cats kill their prey. So,
Yeah.
like, if they
You always hurt the ones you love.
well, it's how cats play with each other, right? Because they got the paunches, the primordial pouches, they're called.
They're
This-
just
you-
lizards, right? Like all they care about is hunting, and so
Yeah.
their play is teach you how to hunt. Like when they
Mhm.
meow at you, a lot of times it's like, "Hey, are you still alive? Like, are you good to go hunt and kill things?" Like that's all
Yeah.
they care about.
Actually, fun fact: when cats leave dead animals at your doorstep, like if you have an indoor-outdoor
Oh,
cat,
yeah.
they'll leave dead animals. That is a sign that they think that you are inadequate as a hunter and are concerned about your safety.
Hey, you're kind of sucking at this whole thing. Here, let me help you out, buddy.
I
I'm
saw
full
you eating some
of
vegetables. Are you okay?
get it the
Like,
fuck together,
you
Ted.
s- I have never yet to see you bring home a live rodent to like eat, and so like I'm just really worried about you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we used to have a cat that like used to he wasn't like a big cat or anything, but he was like a crazy hunter, and so like regularly there'd be like entire like hordes of gophers, like they had gophers on our
Oh.
doorstep.
Entire families, bloodlines of gophers.
Just yeah, like a whole fucking family of gophers, babies and all, on the doorstep, and you just be like, okay, get the shovel.
That's weird. You take them out of the
These
ground,
gophers.
put them back in the ground.
That's right. Bring them back to where they came. All right, and so we have one more player here with us. He's back. It's Dio. Dio.
What? Huh? Okay. Who?
Yeah.
Hmm,
How-
yes,
how-
I'm here.
How's
Yep.
things and how's Albatross doing? Like I'm a little worried about the guy.
He's well, he feels filled. He may have a weird thing growing on his arm that's crystallized. It's good arm, by the way, but yeah, he may be in a little bit of a hot water with the mysterious ritual group that helps him partake in this flesh-eating charcuterie party, I guess.
Charcuterie is good.
Yeah,
The-
yeah. He failed to provide his own shirt board.
Forgot to
this
bring the
time
demon
around.
meat and the brie cheese.
Damn.
Shartboard. Gross.
faux
That's like the
pas, man.
grossest thing you could call it.
Which by the way, I have my own charcuterie board for this special occasion.
Oh, it's a
look
little
at
bear.
that.
That's adorable.
It has a little bow tie. But besides the point.
He looks just like Aaron.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I often wear bow ties, and am a bear. I mean, to be fair, if I was a homosexual, I would be a bear. But
That's fair.
Yeah.
What are they? Oh, there's a word for it. There's a word for it. Like dudes that are like bears, but they're like little. I think they're called otters. Yeah, that's fucking
otters.
adorable.
That's cute.
It's so cute.
I would like to know the height index to indicate. It's like you must be this tall.
Yeah,
to
like
be
what's
a
the
bear.
cutoff? Like,
Okay.
you must be at least this tall to be a bear. Like, is there like?
I'll just say
Well,
this.
thing,
Bears
yeah,
are,
like a-
black bears
like-
are small. Like I don't know why you'd switch.
Right? But yeah, you know,
I switched to otter, but I mean that's cute.
maybe
I
you
would
gotta
say
be
that-
like under like 5'3", and then you count. I don't know. There's, I imagine it's like in Six Flags where there's like a sign. You have to like stand next to it. They're like, you qualify. Here you go.
There you go. I think you just have to be smaller than the person you're talking to be an otter.
Is that how it works? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the rules. There's gotta be a document somewhere with the rules. I don't know.
I bet
like,
you
for real,
there's,
there
like,
is. Like, if you want to know all these terms, you can go to like the gay version of like Wikipedia. Like, there's a queer.
There's probably
I
a
was gonna say
printout, right,
chapter
of, like,
7, partition 6 of the gay agenda.
It's like,
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
an otter. Put your partner beside it. Look at them. Like, is it close enough? And you're like, yeah, they're an otter.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, so Dio, now that we've talked about otters and bears for a while, how are you? Like, how is Dio?
I'm doing phenomenal. It's the beginning of my vacation. I'm gonna be
Nice.
off for quite some time, so I get to relax on my porch, paint,
Oh, dude.
and yell at the gophers that are hiding under the shed.
You got gophers?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. No, sorry, no, badgers. I don't know what the fuck they are. They're
Badgers?
like they're rats.
No, you live in
Wait. Okay.
rats, maybe.
Yeah,
know,
you
like,
can
where
like
you
jump
live,
in
I'm
No,
like
like-
3
that-
different types of
yeah.
species.
Well, okay, so what
What do you call them?
exist?
Chuds? I got chuds. Chuds that
Well,
live in my backyard.
Groundhogs, maybe?
So there's groundhogs.
Oh, you probably got
and
groundhogs.
gophers.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
they
like,
got
they're
little beaver tails though. Like they have like funny, cute little beaver tails.
That's
Yeah,
you probably
that's a
got groundhogs. Yeah,
They're adorable, but also, ugh.
but like, just get out of my yard. Yeah.
Bigger or smaller than a medium size, bigger than smaller than a small dog, because gophers are pretty tiny.
They're big. Oh wait, are they? I thought
Go-
gophers. What am I thinking of?
They are
You're thinking of
just a
groundhogs.
tidbit smaller than Pixel.
Okay.
If
so
for anybody that's seen my dog,
I have not seen your dog.
she is a tiny little dog. She's a miniature dachshund who is about, I would say,
Okay, I got 2 miniature dachshunds at home, so I know exactly how big they are. Smaller than a bread box, for sure.
yes.
Groundhogs, a full-ground groundhog is like the size of like a medium-sized dog. Like they're pretty big. So you probably got gophers, which is a problem. They're a vermin. I deal with that.
All right,
Well, you know.
I'll have to take care of them, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
I got
Get the
bunnies. I
shovel.
got bunnies like no one's business in my proper ta.
Oh my god, there was so many bunnies. I almost hit so many
many
bunnies
bunnies.
today, guys.
So many bunnies, dude. I go out to my car in the morning and like I gotta like step around like 4 or 5 bunnies, like between my front door and my car, which is like I don't know 8 feet, and there's like 4 bunnies, and they hang out and they stare at me, and I'm like, guys, like, what's up, man? Don't jump me. Like, be cool.
They're pretty rad.
They're cute,
So-
but like my dog won't poop when there's bunnies around. He's too busy trying to get them. I'm like, dude, you gotta poop.
You're still
a problem.
chasing those bunnies and poop. Yeah, my dog eats rabbits, so we do not have
Yep.
any bunnies on the property.
My dog will do that, but my wife will fucking flip out.
Yeah.
Flip out.
So there was a time when my neighbor came over, the same one that mows my lawn, to have words about chicken with me. He wanted to sell me chicken for some reason from his like son's farm. And he needed to talk to me about it right then and there. So my dog, which was not properly trained at the time, was running around the yard, and I was trying to like politely be like, can you please go away and maybe just like call me about this or send me a text or something.
Yeah.
But he wanted to talk
This
about
meeting
it.
could have been an email.
So then I basically was like, sure, I'll give you $40, bring a box of chicken over, whatever. Like I'll see you later. Because in the whole time he was talking to me, in the background, my dog is digging into the rabbit holes, pulling out baby bunnies and eating them whole, so you can hear like the bones crunching.
God.
That's
And I'm like,
That's
my
a
dog,
nightmare.
my dog fits in like the crooks of between my forearm and my hand.
Well, yeah, but you're like
And,
a
like-
giant though, so like that doesn't give me any frame of reference.
I mean, it is a small wiener dog.
It is a small wiener dog. It's a regular wiener dog size. Not
I got a
big enough
dachshund.
to-
I got a dachshund. He's like well, he's like ancient. He's like, I want to say like 16 pounds or something.
Yeah, mine's only about 13, but she ate 4 rabbits, which is too many
Oh my
for a
God.
13-pound dog to eat.
So now she's a 16-pound dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a problem. That was a real problem. I guess last but not least, it's me. Yeah, this time only, and this time only, I'm not the least. We'll leave it to one of you. Fight it out.
Okay.
My name is Aaron, also known as Poultrygeist. What do I got going on this week? Oh, I promised you guys last week on the show that I would talk about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Now, I gotta go real quick. And so Ethan actually immediately after the episode recording last week posted what was making me think about that, which is the McElroy's Brothers annual podcast about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 called Till
It's so
Death Do
good.
Us Part.
It's so good.
It is.
Till death do us.
The Death Do Us Blart. They and like 2 other guys who do another podcast called The Worst Idea of All Time. They watch Paul Blart Mall Cop every year right before American Thanksgiving, and then review it.
Same movie every year.
I-
It's been going on since 2015, I think. It's
Yep,
so
yep.
good.
That's
They're-
amazing. So as real quick, you I know it was like a verbal typo, but you said mall coop, and I just imagined like the chicken version of the movie, and like I want that now.
Absolutely. Actually, so in the movie, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Adam. Have you seen this wonderful movie?
I saw the first one. I didn't
Okay.
see or know that there were
Okay.
sequels.
It's a
So the
great
second
movie.
I've
Oh, yeah?
seen both, and the second one is better than the first because the first one,
It's impossible. The first one is a masterpiece.
you would think that, but okay,
No,
Adam, I'll tell
no,
you
you
right now.
wouldn't. Oh, sorry.
There's
go
a scene where he gets stressed out, so he walks out into these gardens, and there's
Alright.
a blind man playing the piano,
on. Okay.
just in these gardens, and then he fights like a large flightless bird.
Okay.
Or
While
The
this,
blind
while
guy?
like
No,
multiple,
Paul Blart.
like it's like
Okay.
4 to 6
The-
minutes. He fights an ostrich. It's
the-
so dumb.
The King of Queens?
yeah, the King of Queens fights an ostrich, loses, and then
Well, I
goes
mean-
back, and like the whole time the guy's playing piano does not stop to even ask if he's okay after.
Okay. That sounds like that's political commentary about Australia.
It probably is, except they were emus in Australia.
Yeah. You guys know about the Emu Wars? Look it up. It's
I know about
hilarious.
the emu wars.
Australia
Those are fucking
lost.
great.
They
Actually-
lost.
Very quick, there is a podcast I've listened to, and I think it's called militaridisasters.uk or something like that. But it's basically like a couple of guys who are like ex-military, like fairly high-ranking, like lieutenants and sergeants and stuff like that. One guy's from the UK, one guy's from the States. They go over military blunders that have happened throughout history and review why they happened from like an actual like logistical standpoint as someone who's been in a battle before.
That's cool.
And they talk about the Emu Wars in great detail and about like how exactly it happened and why it was one of the only justifiable losses that Australia's ever like had. It's like there's actually no way they could have won that war. Like
Kept trying though. They kept trying though.
they did.
Oh man.
The human spirit failed this day.
It did. Speaking of the human spirit failing, in the world
Oh,
of
boy.
Duskvol, in a world that has fallen into cataclysm, the earth has shattered apart, the sky has darkened, the seas turned inky black, with just glimpses of stars beneath its surface. There exists a man by the name of Albatross. And I want to take a moment there, Dio. I want you to describe, what does Albatross do on a typical morning? Just a typical morning. The last typical morning, your next typical morning. What are you doing?
Alarm goes off. 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton starts playing.
Oh God, I don't even know what that sounds like, but I know how Dolly Parton sounds like.
Oh man,
Working 9 to 5.
No,
it's such a good
we're
song.
not-
It's such a good song.
Look.
Yeah, you'll get sued. Nah, she
I-
probably wouldn't sue. Dolly Parton's a national treasure.
I grew up with accordions, bro. And classical Mexican music, or we call them clásicos. So and that was the day that I figured out. Those were the moments I figured out I gotta start cleaning today. So,
Oh, when the music came on, you're like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
it's time.
No, but let's see. What does Albatross wake up to?
Send me a list of things this morning about it.
I
In
did.
fact, I don't know what you were doing up so early. I got up at 3 a.m. because I passed out at 5 a.m. last night.
I start work. I wake up every morning at 1:30 a.m. to get to work by
Ooh.
3 a.m. And my shift starts at 3:30. So
I consider that the
Oof.
previous day. I don't think
Yeah.
of that as the morning.
I started work yesterday.
Oof. Oof.
So
Oof.
Albatross walks into a room with a half-moon shaped window staring out into the scape of the town. And by the window there is a cushion that he comfortably sits himself onto. He starts to take deep breaths and waits patiently as a small ray of light shines into the room. It would be like turning a lighter on, but then it proliferates. The light starts to bounce through the room, expanding through panels that are amongst the walls inside, hitting over and over and over. And for a short moment, inside the room is daylight. And then it's over. And Albatross finishes his breath.
A lovely morning ritual for a very complicated man. Dio, looking at your character sheet here, you have how many traumas? I just want to take a moment and point out, like, this man is not okay.
He has 2 traumas.
Okay, only the 2, so you'll live forever. Yes, you are obsessed and unstable, I could see looking here. Yeah, no, I feel like this is maybe just like one moment, a small respite from those traumas that you have and the memories that you keep. Looking around the room after the daylight has passed, on your shelf, I believe you have a jar. Who's inside of the jar?
The small jar pendant that that he contains. You see a small stone-shaped semblance of Valeris with multiple ingrained gemstones at the bottom of the pendant.
And so this ritual that you performed, did you is that his spirit, or did you do
Yes.
something different? Okay.
They trapped the ever-living shit out of his soul in a small little body.
Yes. Absolutely.
Do you see like banging on the side trying to get out of it?
Oh no, dude! Imagine your soul being stuck in rock, and you could feel everything, but you can't do nothing about it.
Oh,
Oof.
that's like my number one nightmare essentially is like that, like something like that, or like having like ALS, like being like trapped inside your own body that like can't do anything. That's like the scariest possible thing to me. So like, fuck. No, thank you.
Though, perhaps he's earned his fate, being sealed and tombed within stone in perpetuity, because he did take the life of your older brother. He did. And I believe you were telling me earlier that you keep your older brother as well.
Yes. He has a blue gemstone. What you'll actually see is as Albatross is inspecting his robotic arm, or his mechanical arm, he checks to see if the gears are working. He makes sure that the physical components of the arm itself are in tip-top shape, and then he opens a panel inside of it. You see a blue gemstone, as clear as the blue sky. Our blue sky. And then he closes it back up.
So with the two spirits that you keep on your person, perhaps you stand up and you step out into Night Market and make your way over to the library. Just wanted to have a glimpse into Albatross, because he is a violent murder machine, but he is also a human. Just a small glimpse into his day-to-day life. And maybe you return to the library to rejoin the others. I believe last week, Vey found himself within the confines of the area that you have claimed as your vice den.
And possibly a few other places.
Oh, yes. Yes, you were all sorts of places, but you end up returning from this hellish dreamscape in what was your vice den, soaking wet from being in the ocean waters. You probably return back to the library as well. I think you described returning back to the library.
Yes.
Yes. And I want to join in that moment. Who's there when Vey enters? Not all at once, guys.
I mean, what?
Both my girls ain't got anywhere else better to be.
In like the foyer?
Yeah.
Oh, because I think Mari's like finishing off the.
Yeah, she's probably hard at work doing her thing. Yeah, she's probably in the workshop zone. I don't know, man. I mean, if Lutz is there, he's like wandering around like totally wasted on morphine and has no clue where he is, so he's worthless anyway. Jacob is probably. He might be around. I don't know. Marv is definitely there.
Well, where did Jacob go after he started a fire in Charter Hall?
Well, I mean, he went and he fished up that weird robe
That's
situation.
Right.
I don't know, man. He's felt a little lost, a little disconnected from everything that's going on. You know, it's been a weird time for him. He might be back there by now, but he might also, I don't know, just be out listening to stuff.
Then Albatross would be what Vey could be walking into would be Albatross confronting Marv, meaning where are the rest of them?
What? Rest of what?
I need to speak to my.
Is it the little one? With all the hair? I don't know anybody's name. I can't remember anything. If you're looking for the little one with the hair, she's back there with I don't know, a bunch of weird tools or something. I don't know. She's been back there. She talks a lot. Doesn't make a lot of sense though.
From confusion to understanding that Marv does know who he's talking about, he nods and then passes Vey, greeting him as he enters.
So
what's up with your arm?
He ignores Marv.
Yeah.
Whatever.
By the way, I want to be clear, Dio, about what that was. So you basically received a stigmata on your right hand, except that instead of it being like a hole that you can stick your finger through, it has a glass, like it's made out of glass.
Like, let's say, like in the arm here. Like, where exactly would it be located?
In your palm.
In the palm here?
Yeah.
So some Jesus shit.
Yeah.
Just, okay.
All right, that reminds me of a visual joke. Check this out. What's this?
Oh, so like
good.
I could do like that emo thing where I could put my hand over my mouth, but instead you could actually see my mouth.
It's Jesus. It's Jesus biting his nails. Yeah.
And will not be caught at all for the audio.
Use your imagination or edit it out, whatever.
That's fair. Yeah, sacrilege is not against the rules of Dragon's Gate Gaming, but we'll see what happens.
Sacrilegious.
Blaspheming? Well, my name is Dio, so it's already a problem.
Maybe walking in, Vey is quite shocked, having missed all of the excitement of what has happened to the lair since now, with doors barely on their hinges, walking in, and it's just like I leave for a week, and this is Albatross. What's going on?
As he's about to exit, I forget the name of the gentleman who summoned the giant fucking. What was it?
Danny
Darabizo.
He is he in the room?
Yeah, of course. Danny's always around.
He's gonna point to him and say, maybe you should speak to him about the events that partook you. I have places to be. And he leaves.
What's that guy's deal?
Mom is still alive and kicking. That's good. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Vey's gonna make his way over to Danny and have a quick little 5-minute recount session to get a sense of what's going on and why there's all these books everywhere and half the walls are gone. And...
Yeah, and Danny is pretty good. He gives you a very matter-of-fact account, explicitly not telling you that he tried to summon a moth. Or like he leaves out the fact that he summoned the moth.
It's like he does mention there, like every time it's like, oh, and then there was this huge mother fucking big guy that came in. And...
It's just like no one knows exactly why, but there was a moth in here that was about the size of a horse.
That's crazy. These are crazy that happened around us. What?
What? Yeah, I know I'm gonna summon him, but what are you talking about? But yeah, there was a giant moth.
Do you tell Danny or anyone else about your visions or the effect that's occurring?
Not at this point. No, okay. I think there's got to be a little bit of soak time when it comes to Vey kind of coming into the sense of the ticking time clock that is, him seeing how long he has to live every time he closes one of his eyes.
Yes.
It's gotta be a little weird.
Not really ready to share that with the rest of the group yet. Yes, and so little time for someone so young. But yes, Vey has returned. Myri has just finished her gun. Did we go over the drawbacks on that?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure. Because that's a cool weapon, but it's got to have a drawback.
Yes.
Maybe two. But as long as we went over it, I'm happy. So, yeah, at this point in time, guys, we're kind of at that stage where you guys can really push the story in any which way you want to go. If you want to pick your next score, you do still got to talk to Lord Scurlock. You guys owe him a couple coin. You might want to deal with the Path of Echoes ghosts that are hanging out in his attic.
Just open a window, let him out. Get him out of there.
Yeah. You can do whatever you'd like, but at this point in time, the floor is yours.
Albatross crashes the door open to Myri's lab.
Workshop.
Workshop.
Yeah.
On paper workshop.
What do I walk into?
She just passed the fuck out. She did an all-nighter on that thing. There you see this pristine, gorgeous, like long, rail gun, just like it is like buffed and everything too. It's like got the nice shot on it. It's like probably got like chassis for like where the electroplasm whatever goes through. Like the whole like workshop's kind of cluttered, and she's just like passed out on the floor. Just
Albatross.
what's the meme pass out thing? The Peter Griffin pass out on the floor.
Just like all like a hand over his head, just like all kind of like discombobulated.
Yeah.
Admiring this giant weapon in the room, Albatross will walk up to it and be like, "So this is what you've been working."
What? It pulls out dagger. Who's it?
A little
Always
further
quick with
to
the
the
knife.
left.
Oh, hello. Hi. Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, you saw it. Look at this. This is beautiful. Look upon my creation.
With my one dot and tinker, would I be able to appreciate the mechanisms given the arm he has?
I don't know
Would I
if
be
you
able
need to roll for that.
No, you
wanna
don't need to
just-
roll. I think you would be versed enough that you would recognize that this is above your skill set, maybe. Like, I don't think you could create this by yourself. Certainly not in the period of time that she's been working on it. But
And,
you would recognize kind of maybe what it is. Yeah.
I would see.
That's all.
I would see it as the masterpiece it is, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. You definitely have some skill here. I'm not here to talk about mechanical genius.
Well, I am. Well, you see here. See here. This is where we store the electroplasmic energy, and this will connect to
Mary.
what? What?
We need to discuss two things. One, he lifts his shirt and shows the curse mark.
Oh. I take that it's not a normal rash.
The Path of Echoes did something. It seems like I've been cursed.
Ooh. I would say that doesn't look very good. Said there were two things.
And the second, he takes the glove off his hands.
Oh, now that's fascinating. How does the blood flow through there?
Not too sure. This one I have less questions of and would like to see maybe what might be causing it. Or
So, are you going to tell me there was something that happened to cause this, or did you just wake up with that?
details we could discuss later.
Alright.
But for the curse, that's my main concern right now.
Well, as you can see, I'm a little more of the technical side of things, more or less the spooky of it. We have more people who are well versed in it. But take a look, see if they've got any books about this. Sure, they could look for books about this.
So we have to talk to the weeping ladies.
So you could speak to a few of your cohorts, for sure. Like I'll just jump in here. Holden would know a bit about it, probably. Daniel might be able to look something up. The weeping ladies might be familiar with the occult practices. Like you could ask around.
Like most I have 2 pips in study. That's what I can do. Myri only has 1 pip in attune, so she knows a little bit, but she's not the. We have like 2 other player characters who have like 3 pips in attune. So
Wait, who has 3 pips in attune?
Most of my guys.
Yeah,
Jacob does.
Dude's
Not
Shiala
Marv.
does.
Okay, so we've got half of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Albatross thinks of Jacob as how would you describe Jacob?
The guy that tried to kill him?
I mean, yes, but
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
Mari's
That's
also not immediately recommending him.
That's fair. That's fair. Look,
and
stuff
then
happened. Whatever.
and then Ludes, after he watched him fall, literally as he fucking watches Ludes fall down, crash, and then he kills the vampire. So he's just like, oh. And then he tries to. So he has his opinion on Ludes too. So he would definitely not have gone to him at all.
That's fine.
Ludes
is currently wandering around the library, muttering to himself, bleeding from his missing titty. And he's just like, oh my god.
Well, we're none the wiser of what the hell he did.
Well, I just see him wander by, and he's like, hey.
Tons of
He's,
drugs
like,
to deal
eating
with the pain, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Then,
but also in the past, I've got like Veya's gone to Lord Scurlock when it's come to a bit of information as far as curses and other stuff. Which so well, but I know that there are other people in here as well. So
then
it depends who Albatross trusts, really.
With a montage of him talking to everybody in this cult, just, he decides that speaking to Lord Scurlock is probably and should have been his first choice.
That's fair.
You guys are a bunch of weirdos. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Daniel promises to look up some stuff in some books, but he doesn't really know where to start. I don't know if Albatross has ever really spoken to Holden. And yeah, the Church of the Weeping Ladies, it's outside the scope of what they do as a cultist. They're more spiritually focused, like on spirits, as opposed to like on curses and spell casting. So yeah, you go over to Lord Scurlock and you bring with you some coin, I'm assuming. I want to make sure you guys pay Lord Scurlock if you intend to.
And before he leaves,
man.
That's okay.
Before he leaves, he looks at everybody with a threatening glare.
Yes, give the man his money. Give Scurlock the money. That's where you're headed.
Yep. I pull out the 2 coin from your vault.
Thank you for your due diligence.
As you walk down the streets, Albatross, like you see people are looking a little bit nervous, not because of you, just in general. And a newspaper kind of rolls down the street, and maybe you pick it up and look at the front page. You see that election day is coming up in about 3 weeks' time. The front page is just several warnings about the kind of weapons and armor one might want to wear if they intend to vote.
Oh man, if you want to vote, you have to have this kind of caliber. Albatross feels very, very keen to do his civic duty and go vote.
You said duty.
Yes. But you know that election day is in about 3 weeks.
And he's going to duty all over these polls.
Ugh.
Who are the
jokes.
candidates?
Faction-wise.
Faction-wise.
So, I mean, there's actually a few of them. The owner of the Coal Ridge Iron Works, Lord Strangford, head of the Leviathan Hunters, a couple of people from Brightstone that you wouldn't necessarily know very well, that haven't come up in this story so far. At least one of the members that you have seen the face of in the Circle of Flames, not the one with all the tattoos.
Good.
I assume not them.
That guy's dead. Can you vote for a corpse?
Yeah. No.
Yeah?
I
was like, wow. Okay.
I was going to say,
sure.
Duskvol? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite. It's like the opposite Chicago politics, where corpses are allowed to vote.
Yeah, Albatross, as you're reading this, maybe as you kind of walking towards Lord Scurlock's house, you notice that the list of candidates has changed drastically in the last like week or so. So they make a big note of saying that no longer running is Tarbal Hurt as a representative of Dunslow District.
I would have voted.
Wonder
for
what
him.
happened there. That's crazy.
He would audibly, he would just like out loud say, "I wonder what the hell happened at all," and continues to move
It's a little
forward.
awkward.
Yeah, Tarval's no longer running. Lord Scurlock is on the ballot.
That's
As
not
a
for him to talk about.
representative of Six Towers, replacing a name that has not come up in this campaign, is what I'll say.
What's the name that hasn't come up?
Also, screw that person.
I don't have it handy because he's not an NPC that you guys would
Okay.
bump into, unless you do, in which case I'll learn it. But
His name is Robert Paulson.
I'll say his name is none of your business.
yeah,
Nunya at business. Yeah.
yeah. The rep for Six Towers is like an old money dude that's like 85 years old. Like that.
Lord
that's,
Undertooth.
Yeah. Well, he's Lord Undertooth now, and yeah, he is he's old money Agarosi. Nobody's actually seen him, and apparently he doesn't attend meetings. So a lot of people are calling for him to be taken off of city council.
This guy hasn't existed for years. It's like oh my god, what was that guy from you know the one. You know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, so like you see a few things coming up with the election. There's also as almost always during election, there is an upcoming referendum to see if Duskvol should separate from the Empire.
Oh shit.
They do this about once a decade. They host this referendum.
I was gonna say Texas, but then I was like, wait a minute, no, this is going somewhere else.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little bit like Quebec, but it's not. It's a lot more like the a lot of people in Duskvol think that they exist outside the Empire's laws, which is why it's kind of the way it is.
It's like the UK and the EU.
Yeah, exactly. Are
I've heard
you
some of those elections
Brexiting?
before.
Is this Brexit?
It can be. We'll see what happens.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little update on that. But you do eventually get to Lord Scurlock's house. The tall, gaunt man looks exhausted, offers you a weak smile as he opens the door and allows you inside. And Lord Scurlock meets you in the parlor.
He Albatross will take a bow and leave the bag of coin where he would normally leave it for Lord Scurlock.
Yeah, you just set it on the table, and Lord Scurlock nods towards it, and he doesn't count it. He doesn't even look at it, beyond just acknowledging that it's there. And he looks to you, and he's like, "There's no need to bow, my Albatross. What brings you out of visit? Normally, they've been sending they or the others."
I came with a bit of a concern of my own.
Oh, something's got you shaken. That's been a long time since you've come to me for help. So I'm glad I can offer you a favor. What can I do for you?
So, before I can continue with my daily routine, I need to know what this curse here that somebody of the Path of Echoes will what concerns they could bring. And he shows him the curse mark that he has on his side.
Okay. Lord Scurlock sticks his thumb in the wound, pulls it out, and licks it. He licks the blood.
Albatross does not wince.
I do.
God, I love Scurlock.
You're fortunate. It's not really a curse. You've been marked. It's like an oath. Whoever did this to you will know where to find you and intends to fight you to the death. It's an old Iruvian trick.
Understood.
It's you're it won't affect you and it'll heal as normal, but basically he just needed a sample of your blood.
Ooh.
How do the Path of Echoes tend to be in terms of what could be a semblance of an honor code? Would they hurt innocents?
It depends. In an act of petty vengeance between two men, no. To enact the kind of change that they espouse, certainly. Though I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, given what happened in Charter Hall just recently.
And I'm sure, regardless of whether or not they use petty tricks or try to face me, face to face.
I would expect that a man who would use this method is likely to announce his presence to you. This is a challenge. It's like an Akaros, we might slap you with a white glove. I don't know if you have something similar.
Slap you with a robot hand.
But yes, it's an offer of a duel, or an intent to duel. Likely he will approach and he will ask that you engage in combat with him at some point.
Rather respectable, given their actions.
Yes, well, the Path of Echoes, like, as much as they are a thorn and maybe at odds with you and your comrades, they are not unreasonable people. I've worked with them in the past, and to be honest, their vitriol against you is unprecedented. Whatever you've been doing in the over in your university quarters there, it seems to have gotten them very riled up.
It's totally our fault.
It's so our fault. That's exactly. I'm sitting here going, yeah, this
They
is
suck.
bad.
Forget it. Don't worry.
Are
about
we
it.
the
Hey,
assholes? We're the assholes. Damn it.
No, it would be any group. Like, oh no, like they're pretty chill. Unless there's like a we eat babies group with they'll suck. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's like the
that group.
veal of cannibalism.
Well, Albatross isn't going to ask questions about what his this group that he I mean, means to an end, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you would know that, like, Path of Echoes kind of operates on like 3 tiers. There is like a violent terrorist organization, there is like a strange occult organization, and then there is like an upfront and like publicly facing like educational institution that they run. And like all 3 are kind like everyone kind of knows that they do all 3, so they do it borderline open.
They're so us. They're so us, and we're just at war with them.
Whoops. Oh,
We
well.
gotta take their place in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Albatross over here being the honorable one. You guys are like out here causing chaos and just like, it's like, hey, you baby with the big lollipop. Yeah, give me that goddamn thing.
I love how you're like Albatross, the honorable one. Like you're not the one who pulls the gun out. Like all the time.
You're just the mass
Like-
murderer.
That's
you-
the pleasure of doing business.
I mean, you shot the leader, so I don't know.
After he started attacking one of the members in his group,
That's fair.
he attacked first. So Albatross doesn't give a fuck. You pull the knife out first, you get shot.
There you go. But yes, he says, yeah, that's honestly, that'll heal on its own. And unfortunately, it wasn't that he was marking you so much as he was taking a blood sample. So there's not much I can do, other than offer you some advice, which is keep yours farmed. So I suppose you don't have that issue.
I do not. Gripping his mechanical arm.
Is there anything else you want to ask him about or talk about while you're here?
Was Albatross here when they were dealing with the members of the Path of Echoes being trapped? Or was that just vague?
Yeah, you were the.
I think all 4 of us were in there.
Yeah, I think you were all there, and I think you were also part of the ritual that summoned the spirits there.
Does Albatross want to mention the hand? Better yet, a question for you.
Yeah.
How much would Lord Scurlock know about Albatross's true intention?
I want you to give me. Give me a survey roll.
Yeah.
This is going to be risky for standard effect.
I'll let the dice decide.
Yep.
Oh, buddy.
It was a 1.
That's fine.
Whether you know it or not, whether you revealed it or not, he is intimately familiar with your story. The people that are at play in your life, the people who are watching you, like, he knows you better than you maybe even know yourself.
Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That's kind of where I wanted it to go.
Yeah. And for those at home, that was a failure on a survey.
So bad you're able to be read like a card.
You know what? It wouldn't even be that he would be read as like a card. Albatross trusts Lord Scurlock more than anything.
He does seem to have that effect, doesn't he? But so Dio, story-wise, you're about to go and start talking about the demons up in the attic, right? A little bit.
Are they demons?
I think so.
Ghosty goose.
Oh, are those up in the attic? Are those demons or ghosts?
Those are spirits.
Not
They're
everything
ghosts.
about Albatross is demons, okay, Ethan?
No, those are ghosts, and they are specifically the ghosts of several high-ranking members of the Path of Echoes.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of what he would do. So
Well,
he wants to address both things. So Albatross will also show his second concern to Lord Scurlock. And the ritual has gotten out of hand this time.
And you show him the hand?
Yes.
I love it.
We
Lord,
defeated Zatara.
you say that, and Lord Scurlock's face turns into a small frown
The whole face.
before he picks up a table and throws it at your head.
Oh.
What the fuck?
You will take a level 3 harm called surprise attack, unless you would like to resist.
I'd like
That
to
was
resist.
my wife. Holy shit. What the hell is going on?
You notice that he moves preternaturally fast and has strength that is far superior to a man of his age and stature should possess, as he picks up a marble table and throws it at you.
Ooh.
Oh. And that'll be
I mean, honestly,
Three
like,
harm.
even if
That
it was
is,
made out of wood, like, that's still up. It's still.
What would I roll for resistance?
So if you're dodging it, it's prowess. If you feel like you foresaw it, it would be insight.
It's a dodge.
Yeah, so give me a prowess resistance. So you take 2 stress.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, suffer 2 stress there.
Hear that, Dio?
As you, suffer 2 stress. As Scurlock, without speaking, just says, "You have undone years of work." Get out of my house.
You were attacking one of the members.
I don't give a shit. Get out of my house.
Oh, boy.
Understood.
Thought I was helping.
And Albatross takes his leave.
We take a moment as Albatross leaves, and we see Lord Scurlock move into his study, and he pulls like a book on a bookshelf, and like a hidden wall opens. He moves into like the set of stairs and goes into the basement, and there you just see like people strapped to the wall, being tortured, like with like devices that have spread their sternums apart, and vials, and like an alchemy workshop, and books, just like piles and piles of books, not on shelves, just like strewn about on the floor, as he, with a panicked look in his eye, starts reading through them.
Oh, what the fuck is going on? What have you gotten yourself into?
Eyebrow raises for you, sir. Eyebrow raises for you.
I'm sorry, you're saying he went in and started studying again?
Albatross, after Albatross leaves, Scurlock is panically looking through books. Yes, he is, I guess, studying. But he is. These are
trying to find a
handwritten books.
replacement.
Yeah, these are handwritten notes by him. You might even call it a ledger that he's looking through.
Heath Ledger.
Albatross, where do you go after this?
Well, Lord Scurlock said that this mark is for a challenge, right?
Yes. Whoever gave you the mark intends to find you at some date.
At some date, so I assume they're gonna try to look for me when they feel like they're ready.
Yes. Yeah, they might lick their wounds first.
Probably partway through a score if we know the GM any.
Spoilers. Excuse me.
Then, since the gang is all licking they're licking all their wounds too in the process. Did I roll for relieving stress when I consumed?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You only removed 3 stress though.
Oh yeah, it was really bad.
Albatross is going to try to hunt once again.
Do we have more downtime stuff, or are we?
If we can, if I can, or if not,
you can. Like, we'll come back to that though. We'll take a look at what everyone else is doing. You just gotta spend a repper coin to add more downtime stuff if you want to, because we did go through all the stuff that we did before.
Absolutely. I'll spend the coin now preemptively to have it ready.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that you did actually do your vice. Yeah, you cleared 3 stress.
He was like full.
Yeah, he was like at the top.
Yeah, so Albatross, looking at your player character sheet, you should remove 1 more stress actually, which I did for you. Okay, so Yeah, we'll leave Albatross there. Vay, Myri, Jacob, anyone else who wants to take a moment and just talk about something cool their character's doing?
Ludes is wandering around the library, and like he is just drugged up because he's been hanging out with Sawtooth, and he's just wandering around, and he's like wearing like a bathrobe, and it's like half open. And he's like, yeah. And you know, he starts like scratching his ass, and the robe falls off, and he's like completely naked in front of some of these the weaving women, and they all just like look at him, and he's all like,
And they start weeping.
and they start crying. Yep, they start crying, and that's what he's up to.
Okay, fair enough. In that moment, Ludes, as you approach the weeping women, you see them huddled around a desk, kind of like a study desk in the far corner of the library. And you see, like, you're in your high state, so you may not care about this, but what you do see is that they are standing by the spirit jar that you have the head of their deity in.
Oh yeah.
Which, at this point in time, the entire stone, like the entire jar and the desk that it's on, has transformed into stone.
Oh, weird. It's like reforming a new statue. That's fucking crazy. He probably falls down.
Yes. One of the women will help you to bed if you'll allow them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like, hey, thanks, ma'am. And then, boom, to bed.
Yeah.
He starts singing a song from his youth while he's passing out. But it's like super shit. He's like, There you go.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to cover? I just want to make sure that people have an opportunity to like do things with their character, talk to people you want to talk to. This is free play.
Let's get a quick aside. Aside. Jacob Bridgewater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yellow cloaky robe thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. He's alone. He's in some sort of room. Wood paneled walls, floor, ceiling. I love wood paneling. So does he. He's in this room. It's dark, candle lit, flickering. It's got this yellow robe thing. It's dry now. You know, it happens over time. And he's looking at it. And he's thinking about it. You can tell he's got that pensive look on his face that he has a lot of the time. And he's looking at it and he's thinking. He puts it on. It fits. Fits real nice. It's got that hood. He's missing his hat. Pulls up the hood. Candle goes out. That's all I got.
All right. Into it. Do you want me to describe something that he sees in this moment?
Absolutely, I do. I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay.
Also, a quick shot of Marv scratching his ass, and then back to this. He's just like scratches his ass. That's it.
In the darkness, you can just barely see like glowing red eyes as the robe kind of like, you're not wearing the robe, are you?
Oh no, you put it on for sure.
Okay.
Put it on, pull up the hood.
So in the darkness, there's a mirror. We're gonna say there's a mirror in the room.
Oh, okay.
And as Jacob sees movement in the mirror, and so he looks over towards it, and he sees like the figure standing in the yellow robe, but beneath it is like this kind of like wooden black painted goat with red eyes.
What the fuck? Okay.
And there's just a moment where it looks at you, and it pulls out its left eye.
The wooden goat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he holds it out to you.
He's gonna take it, obviously.
You can't because there's a mirror in the way.
He punches the mirror to try to get through it.
The mirror
Obviously.
breaks.
Yeah.
the mirror breaks and it shatters, and you see just like a fractured version of yourself standing there.
In where the mirror was, or like in the shards of the mirror?
In the shards of the mirror.
Okay.
So so there was this image of like a goat pulling out its eye and showing it to you. It wasn't bloody. It was just like an effortless thing.
It just like comes out like a fucking gumball.
Yeah. It pulls out its eye. It offers it to you through the mirror, but of course it's a mirror, and so you can't reach through it. You break the mirror, and then it immediately is just Jacob Bridgewater looking at himself in a yellow robe.
Then the candle goes out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it does.
Absolutely.
The candle snuffs out. We return to Bay. Yeah, time can pass. Like, as you guys, like obviously have things like sleep and gathering supplies and making sure people are fed and pleasant
I'd
meals
like to point
together.
out all of my characters during this time passing, because this never comes up, all of my characters have gone to the bathroom.
At least
Never
once.
comes up. Never comes up.
You know who hasn't gone to the bathroom? Daniel
Little
Derby.
Ever in
Holding
his
it in.
life.
Holding it in.
Nah, he has an adult diaper, but he's too afraid to wear it.
So he has like a portal in his gut that shakes it directly to like the ghost
you-
plane.
You
NPC
ask him how
behavior.
his day is going. He says, depends.
9 to 5 means 9 to 5. There's no breaks in there.
Yes. But yeah, at this moment, I want to take a very brief moment in time. Are you guys doing anything actively to run your school?
Probably.
Yes, I would say so. I think that we have
Good
at
point.
least one instructor. There
He's dead,
are,
but that doesn't matter.
no, there's classes, right? We have classes going on from that. We went and that was part of our recruiting, and so I think that going on with Deraviso handling some amount of, I don't know if people have come to the library for library type things and have been very surprised at the lack of quality of things.
There's a lot of books, but a lot of them are really fucked up. So I love the idea that just occurred to me is that all of our characters are teachers of something, is what I've just imagined. And Marv teaches dodgeball.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
He's just like, hey, you gotta get out of the way. He just like hucks the balls, and he's like,
Why didn't
Idiot.
you dodge?
it's like, you're supposed to move. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a decent point though. So yeah, I think like Vay would be doing some amount of accounting. Like I can see Myri
cool.
doing something with tinkering or like whether or not it's ritual seals or if you're talking just like how to build things.
I'll get a
Probably both.
procedure.
I mean, it would probably be both,
Yeah.
honestly. Myri, honestly, out of everybody,
CJ
Myri's probably the busiest with teaching.
Yeah.
Most qualified teacher here. She went to college, y'all.
Yeah.
She didn't finish, but that doesn't matter.
You
I-
went.
Albatross is the truancy officer?
Albatross
That's
is
up to
teaching
you.
people how to have robotic hands.
I was gonna
I
say
think-
firearms instructor, but
Albatross would be like
I like that you have a
facilities, like,
firearm. That's hilarious. All right, sorry.
just like the creepy janitor cleaning something, and you know that like more is going on.
students look at him like, who's that guy? And just like threateningly look, and they just run across from the hallway, scared as shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like during this time, at any point in time, between now and forever, if you want to ever describe a class that your character is hosting or running, feel free to do so. We can just get a low glimpses into like what their day-to-day lives are, because like we kind of like Fight Club style skip between action, and sometimes there's lots of stuff going on. It might be 2 or 3 weeks between scores, especially because as you get busier, you're running more and more people and focused on more and more stuff. Very quickly, speaking of accounting of this school, we have a bunch of unspent crew upgrades.
Oh yeah, like 5.
Yeah. Well, so you definitely have 3, and then you will either have 2 more or a special ability coming your way. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I did my homework, and I looked it up, and I made some commentary about what I thought was cool. Ethan made some commentary about what he thought was cool. What about the rest of you guys?
Your problem is that I don't read.
Yep. Can't read it, right?
Too cool for
What do you think this is?
school.
I was elected to lead, not to read.
Too far up.
Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? I've got some cool opinions about upgrades.
I have said that I like the idea of increasing security at our base.
I thought that was worthless until very recently. And now I think it's essential.
That
We
is
kind of
fair.
have
a
like a lot
little-
of people who don't like us.
We got a little bit of break-in recently.
Don't disagree.
It's like a fire extinguisher. You gotta get it before you have a fire. And then we had the
That's
fire,
a
and now it's
great
like we
point.
didn't have the fire extinguisher.
So why get one? You already had the fire.
Right, that's
Fun.
the other thought that I've got is like, how likely is it to happen a second time?
I don't know.
Pretty likely.
Third
we have,
time, I
like,
guess, technically.
And what's to say that there
two
won't be
crews who
two
don't- who are like-
fat?
It depends on what you guys do. Like honestly, like you might start playing nicer as a way.
No, that's not happening. We don't have time for that. We've got things to do.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me look at my phone here because I got my notes in there.
I like the doctor's thing.
I did.
Like,
I
like
did
the
like more
doctor's thing?
core host.
Yeah.
We got our adepts, so I think having some muscle is good.
Is it?
because, like,
And isn't Marv a doctor too?
Exactly. Yeah, it's his buddies. It's his buddies, and it has less to do with Marv and more to do with they. It's what they did that helped out the Dockers. Marv is just one of them.
Oh. I'm gonna drop those in. I'm gonna give you guys some elite thugs. Very quickly, with cohorts, I want you guys to describe, with elite cohorts in particular. I haven't done this so far because I feel like I don't want to overwhelm you all the time because there's a lot of stuff that comes up very quickly in this game. But our elite thugs should have you say something positive about them, and I'm going to say something negative about them. And then you have the option to do that again if you want. So something positive about your elite thugs, these Dockers.
They're very strong.
Yeah, they're effective, or they're ruthless, or like they're loyal. You can say all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Albatross looks at them and feels like he could enjoy some hand-to-hand combat with any of these men,
I don't think I would enjoy it.
Thems.
Do we want to go? We could go with strong. We could do well organized is another one. I know autonomous is something, so it's like they don't need orders all the time, but we can just kind of give
You
them
can post
things
that.
and they'll go.
Oh yeah, I say organized or autonomous.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll say that like they are autonomous. They're not Marv. The
No, most of them are not.
the leader of them is quite capable of kind of extrapolating what you might need out of a situation.
So hear me out. Just like a whole row of Marvs who would just like follow Vay around.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. It would be so obnoxious. But no, like these guys all know each other. They've worked together for years. Like they do things like so I work in a wood shop. So there's a lot of stuff where when I go and I'm doing like a team lift with people, like we get into position and just somebody will go like 1, 2, 3, and then everybody just does it. No one talks about it. No one plans it out. It's just everybody knows what they should be doing. These guys are like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, they work really well together, especially. Because
One guy goes hup hup, and then they do what they need to do.
So choose one or two edges and an equal number of flaws. So you said that they're independent. I'm going to say they're wild. When these guys are off the clock, they like to party.
Fuck yeah. Dude, that sounds great. I love it.
And other examples are fearsome, loyal, or tenacious.
Oh,
So
they're tenacious as fuck.
they're brave. You guys are comfortable taking that and another flaw?
I'm into it. It's up to you guys, though. My opinion is yes, but you guys pick.
I mean, I do appreciate some tenacity.
Okay.
I mean, they could take a hit and they can keep going. But there's got to be something else fucked up with them for them to be able to take that many hits.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give them a second flaw, which I'm going to call principled. You might have to hide some of the weirder aspects of what you do.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because, yeah, it's a lot.
I feel like they'd be okay with the shady stuff, but not the weird stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, we got a bunch of ghosts hanging around.
Yeah, like that they're not into, but like, hey, you gotta get rid of this body. They'd be like, whatever. But like, it's because we stole its ghost. They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And for your adepts, with the exception of Daniel Derviso, who kind of is 100% loyal to you guys, I'm gonna make it so Daniel Derviso will almost, like, short of you actively fucking with him, will not ever betray you.
He comes with the layer, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's included.
Yeah.
It's a package.
And then Holton Grudge is kind of his own beast in his own way. But they are loyal, and I have given them the flaw, specifically the Weeping Ladies, the flaw Savage.
Right.
Okay.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. Just so that you kind of have an idea there of like who they are as people. I figured because they came over from another crew, I took a little bit more liberty with that than I would normally.
It's fine.
But
Totally fits.
Yeah.
Totally fits. So
but
we got. You said it's three upgrades, and then either two more upgrades or a ability. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So this is one down. So we got two more upgrades.
Is Elite Thugs 2?
Elite Thugs is 2.
Okay, so we got one more
actually,
upgrade.
no, actually, sorry. 1 second. Because I actually don't think that's true.
Yeah, it might be like 2 for Thugs, and then like another 1 or something like that for like Elite Thugs. Like there's kind of like a tier system with that. I think
There is, but it's because you guys are a cult specifically. I think it might only be 1.
Yeah, because Thugs is like a normal thing that we could get.
Yeah, normally cohorts cost 2 to do. But 1 second, where is it? You guys keep talking. I'm just looking something up.
I'm also looking at the book. Sorry.
Yeah, same.
I'm focused on not peeing. You know what? I'm gonna go pee while you guys do this. I'll be back in a moment.
No worries. Yeah. Where is it? Cult.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Either way, on my side, the 2 areas of importance was firepower. So like Elite Thugs getting more, brass on our corner, and then after that, it's healing. Because one of the things that we consistently need, and like most of our people have some amount of, well, actually, I think we're really good right now, which is like a really odd point. Except for Ludes, who was like almost dead.
Luz is consistently getting hurt.
Consistently, right? And it's like, how do we keep them more okay? And it's like, well, like 2 things. Yeah, it's like we never have enough punches in our fights, and after the fights, we need to heal quicker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because he said Sacred Nexus, as I think that's a special ability.
I thought it looked like Sacred Nexus was a.
No, it's the.
No, it's a building.
It's down
like
to the right.
It's a claim.
Oh, okay. I mean, you are only 1 away from getting it, so you could do that as a score, or even as a long-term project or something.
I think we're 2 from getting it. I feel like.
Well, so you guys have the Byston, Offertory, and Sanctuary. you gained Sanctuary at the end of the last score. That's a +1 to command and sway on sight. So any site that is under your purview offers you +1 command or sway.
Gotta start using that church.
Mm-hmm. Cult rigging, elite adepts, elite thugs. Yes, so elite thugs, because you're a cult, is only 1. So you guys still have either 2 or 4 more, depending on where you go. And it's okay if we don't have them all. I just want to get them out there because you're storing them up like crazy. You actually have enough. You could gain mastery, which is 4 crew upgrade points, which would allow you to move any of your skills up to a max of 4. So if you have any that are at 3, they're at fully maxed out. But if you move it up, if you buy this upgrade, another one would be things like arcane implements, tools, weapons, like in terms of the quality upgrades, that would allow you to punch above your weight class in those areas, respectively. Like, I don't see you guys getting subterfuge supplies necessarily, but you could also buy additional cohorts or an expert. Just things to consider.
Yeah, and so the points that we spend right now, like, we can't do that for turf. Like, turf has to be, that's more of the project.
Yeah, you
outcome.
You gain it in a way that makes sense, but you can't just spend crew upgrades to do it. Like, you could go and buy something, depending on what it is. Like, you could go buy a storm, and I can set a price for that. And that would just qualify as turf. But yeah, ultimately, usually it's a score. Sometimes it's a long-term project. It kind of depends. For Sacred Nexus.
But we can take abilities from other crew sheets, right?
Yes.
All hands looks kind of interesting. During downtime, one of your cohorts may perform a downtime ability activity to acquire an asset, reduce seed, or work on a long-term project. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I just throwing that one out there.
All
I'm trying to find a healing one. I'm not finding one.
The Nexus was what I was thinking, but I guess that's
not an ability.
No.
I was confused.
An odd one from the Hawkers one I remember recently is Ghost Market. Through Arcane Ritual or Hard-Won Experience, you have discovered how to prepare your product for sale to ghosts and or demons. They do not pay in coin, but they pay in other methods, in other ways. You guys already have Anointed, which gives you +1 healing on supernatural harm.
Okay.
What's Glory Incarnate?
Ooh, Glory Incarnate's a fucking weird one. I love it.
Yes.
It's like
everyone
really, it is
steals.
really cool, but I agree with like your comment that it was like that seems like endgame kind of stuff.
That's fair.
Like-
Yes, and then there is the Everyone Steals, which gives you +1 to Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker.
It basically helps just about everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that one then?
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I know this is the boring part of the game, but we have to talk about it at some point. Because otherwise you're just never going to spend your XP.
Okay, so it's Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker?
Tinker, yeah. Up to a max of 3.
Okay, so I'll put that on here.
Yep, and I've already dropped it into the crew abilities. And then you guys spent 1, which means that you have 2 more crew upgrades if you want to spend them. So you could spend 1 or 2 on security, things like that.
I do want one on security. I don't know about you guys.
Yes.
Sure.
No
Yeah,
worries.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you now that you've spent it. I would have punished you. I would have punished you real hard for that if you didn't. Yeah. So one means that there are like traps, a locked door, things like that. Like it's gonna stop most people from entering your lair that you don't want there.
Oh, have we been using Bound in Darkness wrong?
What?
Have you?
You may use
Ish.
teamwork as cult member regardless of the distance separating you. By taking one stretch, your whispered message is heard by every cultist.
Well, so
Oh,
We've been a little back and forth on it.
so I will say for that, yes, we probably have been using it wrong. Though if it's for flavor and it's not like you're not mechanically benefiting people like with an assist roll, because that's
Okay,
kind
good.
of what teamwork is. But something to keep in mind, you guys can like do group attune actions from across the city from each other and things like that. Anything that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
So in some ways, it's like a cheaper version of doing an assist. Except that you have to pay one. No, actually, it's a more expensive way of doing an assist because you still have to pay the assist cost, which I believe is 2 stress. So it will be 3 stress to do it from very far away.
It's so
But you
stressful.
can do it remote.
Hey,
Good. I could do it from the bathroom. There you go.
I'll send you my spirit in the poop.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not what I was thinking, but all right, man.
Very quickly, you have one more crew upgrade if you want to spend it. I'm just gonna leave that.
I think it's fine for now. Yeah.
Okay. No worries.
We'll hang on to it for now.
No worries. So yes, you have been spending some time over the couple of weeks, like obviously like talking to Lord Scurlock, who seemed pretty miffed at Albatross. I don't know if he passed that along. But you've also been working on upgrading your library, probably cleaning it up quite a bit. Teaching classes to your students, things like that. At some point in time, though, we do got to talk about what your guys' next mission is. What's the goal coming next?
Well, we've still got 2 more of these artifacts to gather up.
Yeah,
I'm
which
into
one
that.
is in Charter Hall? Is it the eye? There's the what is it again? It's the eye, the hand, and
the heart.
the heart.
I believe the heart is the one in. One of them is in Charter Hall, which you guys just burnt down.
Not the whole thing.
Only a section of it.
We didn't burn down the whole thing.
You didn't burn down the whole thing. I'm just being.
Yeah,
serious.
you guys didn't burn down the whole thing.
Go there. We're like, wait, it's not in the display case anymore. That's weird.
Yes. But yeah, no. So you know it's somewhere, and it's probably actually with the Foundation. In Charter Hall, which they have the Sparkrite Tower. So it's somewhere there. Or you know that it's on display at the Ministry of Preservation in White Crown.
So wait,
you know-
sorry, you're saying it's either one of those, or those are the 2?
Those are the 2
Artifacts.
locations. Those are the 2 locations that they've last been seen. And I am trying to make
Silkshore.
White Crown is the district far to the north that is like kind of like the last, like that's where City Council is, that's where the Ministry of Preservation is, that's where like the wealthiest people, and it's run entirely by the Imperial military.
Oh, okay, yeah, Silkshore's that's the west one. Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Silkshore is like the red light district. This is like very, very upper class. They make Brightstone look like peasants.
Bourgeoisie, yes.
Yes.
Foundation versus. Yeah, I'm like, so which one of those 2 factions is weaker?
Definitely. So I mean, that itself might be a gather information roll, I'll actually say.
All right. Fair enough. Well, yeah, Vay's gonna go then, and he's going to go socialize with, people at the newsstand in order to understand where the artifacts are and who in fact has them and what those situations look like.
Absolutely. Ooh.
Do you get anything for triple threes?
I guess no. Yeah.
You go straight to jail.
You're gonna get some information for free because you're a citizen of Akaros. So you know the White Crown. It's not hard to get in, and that anyone in theory could walk in, but you would have to dress well and above what you could probably afford to fit in. Like, people there kind of dress like incredibly ostentatiously. Most of them are nobility. Like I said a couple of sessions back, that these are not Marie Antoinette, but these are the people that attend Marie Antoinette's parties. All of White Crown is Marie Antoinette. Like I said, the Bluecoats do not operate there. You would also know that the Ministry of Preservation is sorry, I'm just opening up. I believe it's a tier 4 faction, but it might be a tier 5. So I'm looking that up. Where did it go? Okay, for some reason it wanted me to look at an application that I filled out 3 days ago. Instead, yes, they are a tier 4 faction, and the Sparkrights, who are also in the same location as the Foundation, are also a tier 4. So the Sparkrights and the Foundation operate in Charter Hall. So Sparkrights are tier 4, and the Ministry of Preservation is a tier 4. So either way, you're kind of punching above your weight class.
And we are 1, right?
No,
Yeah.
yes, you are tier 1.
Yeah.
But the response to you committing a crime in Charter Hall would be from the Bluecoats, who are a tier 3 faction. And in White Crown, it would be the Imperial Military, who's a tier 5 faction.
Okay.
All right,
there it
so
is.
yeah, we'll go with the one that's like halfway.
Yeah.
To the top.
Blades in the Dark, I'll just be honest with you, you always punch above your weight class. That's like why it's not easy. Like otherwise,
Yeah, but not
everything-
like all the way up.
Yeah.
Let's start small, punching up, punch a couple, not all
Yeah.
the way up.
Doing a score in White Crown is like playing on hard mode, is what I'll tell you.
Maybe make a point in trying to get up to that tier 2 before the
Yeah.
repercussions hit us from this session.
Yeah, and you might want to prepare by having allies and things like that. Acquiring assets and such. Which you kind of have done. You have thugs and things like that. They can help you. But yeah. You would know that for free. You learn one little bit of information, which is that the even with the failed roll, you learn one bit of information, which is that ever since the fire that broke out in the schools over at Charter Hall, the university, Charter Hall Academy, has been closed. People have been kind of more or less on lockdown or asked to leave campus. Like, it's kind of like, you leave campus, you don't come back until we reopen the school, or you stay here. And that specifically, nobody has been seen entering or exiting the Sparkright Tower since. But you don't necessarily know what that means if there's people inside, if there's people, more or less people inside. And that's what you learned.
Well, it's since I couldn't get very much information there, if someone else wants to better understand what's going down in Charter Hall.
Yeah. Actually, very quickly, do we want to take a short break?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I think we'll come at this with some energy, some planning energy. But yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're playing some Blades in the Dark. We're trying to plan a score. I did misspeak earlier. I looked it up on the break just because I didn't have the book in front of me, and I didn't want to get up to go get the book, but I have it now. Ministry of Preservation is a tier 5 faction. The Foundation and the Sparkrights are both tier 4. So that was the only area that I misspoke there. Imperial Military is also tier 5, and Blue Coats are tier 3. So yes, now that I clarified that, we can return. We were gathering some information. Unfortunately, Vay was not able to find very much useful information beyond what was already quite obvious to most people, which is that the area has recently undergone fire. He learned, and then also that Charter Hall Academy is locked down currently. But if you would like to gather some more information, I think we have some other people in the crew that may be able to help. All right, I'm going to call you out by name. Dio, does Albatross want to look for some information?
I
should ask, is he interested in the score? Retrieving the eye of Kotar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The question is, how do you want to go about it? So,
well, if you look at your character sheet, you do have some recommendations for questions you could ask. I believe one of them is things like, what threats could you foresee? Things like that.
It's not on the
not on
sheets.
Not on Foundry. They are on the actual character sheets.
Yeah, I was trying to. My book is all the way over there.
I know.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to look that up in the rules thing. See, what are they? Okay.
Oh,
Thank you. That was very helpful.
should I look?
Okay.
Always helps to have the printout beside you.
It does. I sat down and started recording and then realized that I left my book across the room. That was my issue before break. But I believe I might actually have it in rule stuff as well for planning engagement.
Yeah,
Nope.
Nah, I was looking in there.
How can I get them to do X is maybe interesting if there's like
A more social element or something you want to take with it.
or like something along like having them transport it outside of the tower and intercept it, or that type of
Ooh, I
feeling
like
the
that.
pressures, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a spider way to approach it. Like maybe
I like
we
that, I like
are
that.
looking at we threaten that we're gonna steal it, or that someone's gonna steal it, and so they move it, and that's when you get it.
Albatross
I like
can hunt the item down if they start moving it through.
Those
Well,
have
if
to
we
be
can
the-
figure out where they would move it to, then we can hit them along the route.
Yeah, where it's you carefully track a target. You may follow a person to discover the location. You might arrange an ambush. You might attack with precision shooting with a distance. You could also try to bring guns to it.
Ambush. I like that.
Like a highwayman type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
And it's also one of those things where you guys have someone who is working with the Foundation within the Circle of Flames.
All right, so
He
I
was
wouldn't.
and you would have the ability to talk to Hutchins and set up a meeting with this individual. You did lose a little bit of status with them, the Circle of Flames, but you still are acquaintances with them. They're still relatively friendly towards you.
Do we know if they know that we have one and we didn't tell them, or?
You know that
it
you
hasn't been said.
It hasn't been said, and you also know that you obfuscated that information from the guy that came to your lair.
Okay. So it's just that if we tell them, like, hey, can you help us get in, then they're gonna know that we have this one for sure.
Yes.
But that's the drawback of asking them.
Mm-hmm. But with a good roll, you might be able to talk to another member of the Foundation or something like that.
So I'm trying to think of who I got, what I could do with that, try to get information. Because Myri has her one college buddy, but I don't know if she would know.
It would depend. Stasia, maybe she's had several trysts with members of the Foundation and the Sparkrates. I don't know what kind of woman Stasia is. We haven't established this yet.
Shiova?
Shiova, I mean, if you want her to ghosty sneak around.
Oh, sorry. Stasia's. Yeah, no, I'm mixing up names now.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's two S names.
Yeah.
Stasia is Myri's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want an action roll. We'll describe we'll describe how you're getting the information, and then we'll decide an action roll based on that. But there will be an action roll involved.
Yeah. I just don't have a lot of good actions for this. Okay.
I'm willing to play it as like a flashback, kind of like you two got into some mischief maybe years ago, and that's how you recall it.
Okay. Like a kind of like, ooh, we're gonna go run around at night through the halls, maybe bust down a door.
You guys were trying to find alchemical reagents, or like you needed electroplasm, so you broke into the Sparkrite Tower.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This happened years ago, so maybe you can find some information about the layout and maybe what they do for security measures inside.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is years ago. Myri was maybe 18 or 19 at the time. I don't know how old Myri is now. It might not have been that many years ago.
She's older 20s.
Yeah, so she's like 28. So yeah, this is a while ago. You and Stasia kind of caught in a series of experiments, break into the Sparkrite Tower, which is run again by both the Foundation and the Sparkrites, to find some electroplasm to fuel an experiment you two are working on. How do you guys break in?
Trying to decide between like day when it's like it's crowded, everyone's around, you're not really paying attention, or night when there's no one there, but it's easier to notice you're not supposed to be there. I think maybe day, like to go in the day, be like, oh, what, we were spent here by someone, that's crazy, like kind of do like one person distracts, the other person grabs.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So you can get yourself a +1 to the die because Stasi is helping you. But what do you do? Like, what action roll are you making while you do this? define what you're looking for. I guess would be what it was. It could be a study to see what you remember. It could be a wreck to see how far you got in.
Okay. Wreck to see how far we get in.
Sure. So yeah, like you guys, you get in and you realize that like they're keeping stuff locked and you don't have time to like pick the locks. You don't even really know how to do that. So you start wrecking their storage areas to see what you can get into, you know, using various like alchemical solutions like acid and things like that to break locks. So go ahead and give me that rec roll and see what you find.
So you want a risky standard +1?
Yeah, we'll say this is risky for standard. If you mess up enough, maybe they've changed things since then. Okay.
Level 5s.
Yeah, it's okay. You got a bit of you get some information here. You find out the hard way that rooms and stuff like that they have, like once you start to get into like the interior and the upper levels of the Sparkrite Tower, that they actually have like several areas trapped. Thankfully, you just happened to be quick enough to not get seriously injured. But you do know that they have some traps there. You also know that they tend to keep like the big expensive stuff pretty high up. So if it was like really important to them, it might even be on the upper floor.
Okay.
One other piece of information. There are several halls in this building. Most of them are about the size of small dogs. And they use them
hulls. Okay.
Yeah, hulls. Hull. Yeah. Kind of like drill bit.
Okay.
But they're shaped kind of like small dog sized shaped spiders, and they use them to do repairs on the outside of the building.
I immediately want one.
Yes. Other than that, I don't think you get too much. Thankfully, you didn't do enough damage and you didn't get far enough in that they felt the need to change their security protocols as a result. But you did not learn everything. You didn't make it quite far enough in your youth. What about you, Adam? Got anything good? He's got a yawn, ladies and gentlemen. It's the biggest yawn I've ever seen.
It's a pretty big
Oh, sorry. Bad timing. Oof. I don't know, man. I don't know what... Because, I mean, like, honestly, right now it's just Marv. Like, what the hell is he going to find out? He doesn't know shit.
Marv is the one that finds out the most information.
You don't think
stumbles upon
Jacob
it.
would be a part of this?
I'm not sure where he falls with all this anymore, you know? He's kind of in a tough spot with almost everyone. I can't think of any of you guys that are not... outside of the people he's never met, I think everybody else is pretty pissed at him. Luz doesn't get along with him, and, like, Marv's never met him, but if Marv met him, like, they would fight, like, instantly. I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's up to.
That's fair.
I mean, I guess Marv could, Nah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he would do to help out.
I mean, we could start talking security detail of what it would look like if they're moving artifacts, right? Like, we can kind of
go beat the shit out of some dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
That's
what's
true.
that
You just go beat
second
someone.
help
No,
anything?
like,
It's just-
yeah, no, beat up a dude for information. Like, hey, look, there's a scholarly looking dude. Go punch him and say, tell me where you keep shit.
Beat the shit out of him.
He wouldn't even. He would just tell him to tell him. He wouldn't have to punch him.
Command.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be command.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Why not? Let's go.
Anything is possible with the power of imagination.
Yeah, he's gonna command some information out of somebody.
Okay.
I suppose.
Why not?
Like, hey, if we shut this down, where's this gonna go? You know, he's gonna find some Poindexter kind of fella, some noidy guy. I don't know how that came out of my mouth. Some nerdy looking dude.
Okay.
So
yeah, you find a student that you see him sneaking out of like the second story window.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. So you find a student from inside. You corner him in an alley. And he's like, sir, what's your problem? What's going on?
It's gonna go, hey, I saw you sneaking out of there. What? You tell me about how getting out of this place.
All right, that's
I clicked it. I don't know. It's not
That's not
rolling
five.
dice. You guys see it? I don't see it. I don't
Yeah.
know why it's not. I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, you rolled a 2 and a 5.
Okay.
That's what it's at. So you got a partial success there. So he's gonna, and it makes sense. He's only a student. Listen, I don't know how to get in and out of there. Like, what are you trying to break in?
I saw you climb out the window. Tell me, what are you doing? How you getting out of this place? I got, got some friends that want to get a thing that's in there, out of there. If you
Right
tell
now,
me, by the way, if you say anything about this, I'll break you. I'll break you in half, like a, I don't know, a chicken leg. Remember chickens? I don't know. Whatever.
I haven't had chicken in a long time.
You never have chicken again. If you tell anybody.
Okay.
All right.
What does he tell you? He tells you that, yeah, like you probably could get in and out of the first or second story windows. Like they're not that sealed, but it's hard to get upstairs without like a teacher or somebody with a key. He describes these things that they carry around through like little medallions that as long as you have one in your pocket, the traps don't go off.
Oh, okay.
He also says that sometimes they'll move a lot of goods between here in Charter Hall, and they'll move them over to Char Hollow, the poorer district, where the lightning tower there is protected by like a lot of like the citizens and stuff. Yeah, you know Char Hollow to be like one of the poorest districts in the city.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of crime there because nobody has anything. So like I think it's kind of one of those things where like sometimes I'll move more valuable stuff there because it's easier to protect. Just geographically.
There you
But,
go. That's what I got.
Yeah, and he doesn't have much else information for me. At some point, you let him go. He scampers off, and you see him head off towards the Silk Shores. I don't know how you'd see that. That's really far away, but you saw it.
Just got really good vision.
Your elf eyes see. Yes. So you guys can continue to gather information. You guys can talk about a plan. We can look at planning an engagement. If you feel like you're ready, we can talk about the detail and the approach. So like an assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport.
Ooh, okay. I've got some ideas. They all just popped into my brain. You said same? Hit me.
Yeah. All right. So my idea is we go in, we make sure that tower gets delivered some amount of possibly corrupt Leviathan blood in order to cause some issues with the tower, so that they cause them to ship very important goods out, and then lie in ambush and wait.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
What do you have?
I think, from my understanding, you got I don't know, like ghost stuff going on. You guys blow things up, I heard. I don't know. Maybe that. And then, when they try to move it, sneak up on them.
I'll ask.
Punch 'em. Or whatever, get behind them. But they're not ready. You do a thing with the ghosts. Make them come out of the building. Get behind them. You're gonna go to that place with Char Hollow. Get them before they get there. On the
You know,
way.
Mav, you're not just muscle. I gotta say, I really like your plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is that
Okay.
enough?
So wait,
Where
so,
did Dio? Where did Dio go?
so is that plan like sticking a bunch of ghosts on there, or just like doing a
That
ghost-
plan. So that plan, I get. You know, you're smarter than Marv. But I think what he's trying to say is that we spook him out of there.
Okay.
A more
we do-
occult approach.
Yes, we, and then they spirit the goods away, and then we steal them.
Okay.
We intercept.
Okay, so two. So we have both two plans for them moving things out of the tower, and then we intercept it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say this, like, we haven't done it before, but there's a thing called a setup action as part of, like, the beginning of the score that's separate from the engagement roll. So, like, you could have, like, an elaborate scheme that isn't really part of the score that happens at the start of the score.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
So that would
like,
be the.
the getting
It'd
them
be
out
like
of
the
the
thing
building.
that kicks it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, you know, you set up a bomb, or in this case, maybe it's like you start like sabotaging their equipment so they have to make like a run, or you blackmail someone, or you imply that you're going to steal something, or that someone else is going to steal something. Like, you know, like it's just like you can kind of set it up however you want, and then the second part could happen as a result. Which it like, because it sounds like we're going for an assault, do violence to a target. You're basically going to rob this convoy or whatever, this transport, as it's moving goods from one section of the city to another.
I mean, like, yes, but like not necessarily with violence.
Maybe, yeah. I like more with like, well, I was about to go deception, but like, I want to do occult stuff. You know, like there's an
Yeah.
amount of like, I want to just keep doing weird
Okay.
stuff as far as
I'm going to pitch
rituals.
something, and you can run with it or not. If you call upon the forces of your deity or demons, like unleash a demon in the tower, fill the tower with ghosts, people might
That's
just
what I'm thinking.
or like hurry out carrying anything that's important to them.
With less of an organized armed guard.
It might
Ooh.
Be like a panic. You
That's
could
a good
also
point.
go. You could also go a route where like you like start indoctrinating people, and this is like a longer term score that we would just hit the highlights of.
Hmm.
I mean, two birds with one stone. Get more people to join the cult.
Time wise, I imagine it's a bit more of an and or, just as far as like how many things we're gonna juggle.
Yeah.
Which one sounds more fun?
I mean, I personally, I like, because I'm just kind of pitching like what an occult score might be. You engage a supernatural power; it can be anything you want it to be. But yeah, like the idea of summoning a lot of spirits or a demon or even your deity into the space, like that could work.
We could use ghosts to distract them. Set everything into chaos as we run in through the other side. Get in there, grab the stuff. Kind of a sleight of hand on a
I don't
ghosty
think
level.
get in there. I think there's a bit of like set this off and like catch them when they come out.
Yeah, because I think
You know,
the problem
smoke
was
'em
like
out.
we don't know exactly where it is. If we go in, it's going to be a little bit of like, okay, we know it's probably somewhere near the top, but aside from that, then it's going to be a little bit of running around like, where do we think it is?
Yeah.
So the idea is like we get them to bring it to us, but then we're like, oh shit, we got to get this important shit out of here. And
Okay.
that was the idea.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we are talking about an occult score. We're going to gauge a supernatural power. In this case, it would be spirits. The arcane method. Sounds like it might
You
be
mentioned. Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, it sounds
yeah,
like it
so-
might be time for another ghost ward.
Yeah,
That could.
that's what it's sounding like. Or just send the one ghost in, like, ooh, it's me, get out.
Get out of here.
I mean, it could actually be the Path of Echoes. You could send the Path of Echo spirits in there.
Oh,
Can we do that? Can we just force them to go somewhere else that's beneficial to us
chuck them
twice
in a
at the same
bottle
time?
and just launch them in.
That's perfect.
And it
Launch
makes it look
them
like
in.
the Path of Echoes did it.
And then it makes the Path of Echoes look like they did it, and then their leaders are gonna get fucking murdered by the spirit wardens.
Oh, Emily.
Yo.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yo.
Sorry, I just thought of that. I thought that's cool as shit. Yeah, so I'm into that. Because we're getting towards the end of the session here, guys. The detail, when you choose a plan, you provide a missing detail. So yeah, the arcane method. We're gonna try and summon the Path of Echoes into this building. Both to make it look like they did it and to provide a distraction. You guys will
I love it.
decide your item loadouts in this case. But you guys can pick that in between sessions here. Once the players choose a plan and provide the detail, the GM cuts to the action describing the scene as the crew starts the operation and encounters their first obstacle. I just like to do this backwards to how they describe it in the book. We're going to do our engagement roll, and see how it starts.
Questions. We all now have, aside from Albatross, we all have multiple characters. Do we want to? We should decide who are we bringing, and
I like it.
like how is the how are we getting the ghost there, and like who are we bringing? How are we getting the ghost there?
Well,
Yeah.
for like. Oh, sorry. I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say like for how the ghosts like get there and get in there, right? Like that's it could be as simple as a barrel that there is some amount of deception that gets transported into the building that has like all of Myri's terrible, awful runes, whatever, written within it that just like click off
On the
and
inside? Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool. Like a Trojan horse.
go. Yeah. And then I guess it's like how that stuff goes off. It's like characters start popping up into the scene as need be as like the heist begins, right?
Absolutely.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, because you can definitely do setup actions and things like that with other characters that might not be in the score, but they're part of your crew. Like Drillbit might be doing something on the other side of the city, and he'll kind of operate as a cohort if you do it during the score. But like in this setup stage, like if you need to roll, you need to roll.
Okay. So do we get one of those setup type things?
I mean, it kind of depends. Like they're risky, right? Like they can fail.
Okay.
And then that might impact a few things. So yeah, I guess I'll ask before we do the engagement roll, is there any setup actions you guys would like to take to get this prepared?
I think Myri setting up the ghost ward situation.
Okay.
I think
So-
that's the givey.
A couple ways you could approach that, Myri, because obviously usually Ghost Ward is a rec roll to determine how effective it is.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're also building like a mechanism inside of it that's going to cause it to delay how long before it goes off. So it's kind of like a time bomb.
Yeah.
So that could be a tinker roll.
They both have the same amount of pips.
That's fair. I'm gonna say it's a tinker. It sounds like a tinker to me. I think that's the harder part of the two things. So go ahead and give me a tinker roll, and it'll be risky for standard effect. It's gonna do what you want to do, but
I get since we just got everyone steals, each PC may add +1 action rating to prowl, finesse, or tinker.
Up to 3.
Up to 3. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's already 3. Okay.
I was like, oh, this could probably be a group thing, and then I look and I'm like no one has tinker. It is just Myri.
I'm the only one.
I have 1 pip.
Yeah, we got like.
Okay, risky standard. I will push it for an extra dice.
There we go.
Maybe there we go. You said risky standard?
Yes.
Give me that 6, baby.
There you go.
There she
No.
is.
Surrounded by 3s.
Yeah.
The 3s added up to 6.
Yeah. So yeah, you do a good job of building this. Kind of in your workshop there, you have it. And just before it goes out the door to be carried over to Charter Hall, you set the timer on it, giving them hopefully enough time to get it there and inside, as long as there's nothing slowing them down. And with that, is there anything else you guys want to set up while we're here?
We should set up. All right, hold on. Let me look at this big old map. So we're traveling. Well, not we, but they likely will be traveling from. It's taking forever for this to load. I'm at 98%. It's not moving.
The Duskvol map. Okay. So
Right down.
Charter Hall is that square one in the middle there. And they are going to be moving. Where's Charter Hall?
Southwest, right?
Yeah.
And so whether or not they go south first or west first.
Yeah. Well, so in Charter Hall, in the University Quarter, the Lightning Tower is. Where is it? Oh, it's all the way to the north. That's why I'm missing it. So it's pretty far north. So yeah, they have to move south across the old moat. So there's 2 bridges that they could take to go across the old moat. They're most likely to take the western one. And then they could move south right into Charter Hall over there.
What if we use our... Oh, there we go. It finally loaded. Okay. So, let's see. We're going to go from...
Yeah, so they're up here. Like, it's actually this building here.
Okay.
And then they'd have to cross probably this bridge.
Okay.
And then this bridge. To get to where they're trying to go.
Okay. Okay. So could probably work with some of our elite thugs to make sure that they've only got one option for bridges to cross.
Okay.
That way, if they try to go the other way, it's currently all messed up with some sort of botched unloading or something. Yeah, like there was a weird crash and there's crates everywhere. Like, sorry, you got to go around. We're trying to figure it out, but there's a labor dispute.
Yeah, and you got all those extra crates from when Marv brought the food over. So you unload some of that stuff that you want to keep, and you put the rest of it, like the rotten cabbages and stuff.
Cabbages.
and you block off the unnecessary route that they might choose to take, just so that they're forced to take the other. And that way you know exactly where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a command roll to make sure that these thugs are kind of acting, and doing what you need them to do when you need them to do it.
Can I get a bonus die because they're like associated with us or something? Or
yes,
associated
you
with
would
Marv?
because yes. You definitely, because they're associated with Marv, but they're your elite thugs, like the crew's elite thugs. So yeah, definitely give yourself two extra die.
2 extra dice. No problemo. We got this.
No, this is a very thuggy thing to do.
Huggy. All right, 4.
Yes.
So, success-ish.
Yes. A complication occurs, which I have in my head might be what happens.
Okay. Do you want to tell us now, or should we wait?
We're gonna wait until it comes.
Fuck yeah, I like that. It's way better. Way more exciting. I'm already nervous.
Yes.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and with that, we'll quickly do the engagement roll. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Yes.
Okay, give yourself an extra die. I agree. Overly complex or contingent on many factors? Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot going on here. You're depending on them to go a certain route, and like yes, you're
It's true.
covering for it, but there's a lot going on.
It's true.
You have-
It's true. There's already 2 things that have to go off for us to be successful.
So that's kind of a null. So we're at 1 die total. Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? I'm going to say yes.
Oh yeah.
Sparkrats and Foundation are not known for their occult practices or defenses. It's kind of the area that they're weakest against.
Nice.
And so yeah, you'll give yourself 2 die going in. Do you have any friends or contacts to provide aid or insight for this operation? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like the thugs are on the bridge, but I think there's also they're now in the district a bit, right? If that's
Yeah,
what you're
like
guessing, or do you have another?
well,
I'd
just
say that and we're doing this for the Circle of Flame.
Mhm. So
Ish.
like you would be able to call upon them.
Yeah.
If you want to tell them, but you could also call upon Lord Scurlock, being like, "Hey, listen, we're planning on doing this." Because while he was mad at Albatross earlier this session, he's not your friend anymore. He was just angry.
Oh, phew, okay.
Oh man, I really
okay.
like him. I didn't want him. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna text him again.
Is
Yeah.
Dad upset with me? Like,
Are there any other elements that you want to consider? Yes, this is significantly higher to your target, and so I'm going to give you -1d for that.
Okay,
So
back
that's
down
a
to 2.
We're back down to 2.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to roll 2 die.
We're gonna do it. I want to do it. I don't think
you-
I've ever rolled the engagement roll.
Roll this engagement roll. Get engaged.
A 5.
Not,
Okay.
Yep.
You're in a risky
Green.
position when the action starts.
Hey, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
So yes, this barrel manages to make its way in. On the outside, it's marked Leviathan's blood. We'll say. You marked it as something that they would want to bring inside, and it goes inside the building, and they carry it up to the 3rd floor. Ideally, this would be about halfway up the tower, which would be the 4th floor. However, they get distracted along the way. Like a couple of people go down as a group of students are holding a protest inside of the building. And so they just kind of drop it on the 3rd floor there, and they move down. And as they're addressing these students who are protesting that they haven't been allowed to leave for about a week now, all of a sudden the mechanism just clicks into place and the runes are aligned and they go off. And we will find out what happens next time on Sins and Consequences. Do 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 do. I don't know, but yeah, like no. Next week on Sins and Consequences, we're gonna go into this score, guys. I'm actually really excited for this one. This is
oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
but you're just gonna stop it there? Like what does it mean if it's setting off like a floor lower?
We're gonna
find out.
It's gonna be fucking wild.
Killing me.
Yeah. It might mean that it might cause more civilian harm.
Oh, no.
I don't like that.
That's kind of our MO. That's good.
That's what we do, baby.
Yeah. But yes, thank you all so much for listening. We're gonna do XP off recording this week, but yes, we do account for XP. I don't always record it, just so you know, listeners at home. But we will be back next week. If you haven't already, just quickly check out the Patreon and see if it's for you. We do have extra content available on there. We also have monthly art released. We do like Chris is on there all the time, responding to comments and listening to what people have to say. You can also join us over on Discord, on Facebook. I have an Instagram, which is linked down below. All that good stuff. And yeah, we look forward to doing this again next week, guys.
Oh yeah.
And with all that being said, we'll bid you a good night to Duluth.